beautiful Pisces, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career reading for December 2022. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I will never ask for personal details, and I will also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Pisces, this is your career reading for December. I can't believe we're at the last month of the year, but here we are. It has come around so quickly. Let us get straight to your energy. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. But just to let you know, you should still feel that influence from your 10th house. And that is all about your career. It's about ambition. It's about making your mark. It's about setting intentions and being right on target. You will see improvements in your career, and you may even be concerned about your reputation or what you're known for as you develop your career further, okay? For those of you who are currently looking for a job, I mean, we've got a letter there, so I feel like you will be hearing news of some sort of position becoming available for you, and I feel like you will be moving forward after a period of feeling a little bit stuck. But let's see what is going on for you. They want one more dice. Okay, so the first pile is your protagonist energy. So if you haven't heard any news recently, you will be hearing that very shortly is what they're giving me. How would you like to receive? Thank you so much. And it should be in the next week or so, because I'm feeling like first week, second week of December vibes. That's what I'm getting from that news. But some of you, I feel you are putting the feelers out to maybe look at interviewing for new positions. I mean, look, the whole pile. You've got letter, you've got the Fool card, you've got the Ace of Wands here. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide? You've got the Tower. Something is definitely changing, something radically changing, something that hasn't been working for a while that you felt has been very difficult is coming to an end, I feel. And it's working out in your favor. Ace of Cups, something new coming on in. Now, this can mean that, for example, it doesn't have to mean that you're physically relocating to something new. It can mean that you've been feeling a little bit stuck recently, or you've been like on hold, or you felt something isn't progressing, something is not developing for you. And I feel you may have been a little bit burnt out or a little bit exhausted. You may have felt like giving up on something or even losing direction. You know, sometimes when you're so involved in a project or your career, you're so attached to it that sometimes when you feel like nothing's happening or you're not making progress, you start to wonder, should I give up? Is this my true north? Is this the journey I'm meant to be on? Is this my true calling? So I feel like you're going to be asking yourself a lot of questions over December and really seeking answers where you need to make a decision regarding cutting out things that are not working in your career sector and things that, of course, are working really well, and start developing those things as well. I mean, the first card we got here is the letter. So there's definitely some sort of correspondence, some sort of good news headed your way. You may even be given in a letter of resignation because you feel, you know what, you have talent, you have a lot of talent, a lot of skills, a lot of potential, and you may feel like you're not reaching your full potential. So some of you may actually give in your resignation in order to start something new, either in December or towards the end of December into the new year, okay? So it says here, message, documents, news, mail, text, contract, communication, expression. Now, it doesn't mean that you're leaving a place, okay? It can mean that you're entering a new way of working. So, for example, there may be some sort of restructure going on where you're working at the moment, and you may be offered a new opportunity to elevate in your career. You got the Fool card there, and we're going to the Emperor as an outcome. So some of you may actually get a promotion or a raise or step into a role that brings more responsibility and also brings more abundance. I mean, the Ace of Cups indicates this is a dream opportunity, something that you will love, something that gives you hope to elevate and be very successful in the future, okay? I do feel like it's an official document, especially because my guides are pointing at the seal there. So this is an official letter that you're going to get or give in order to move forward on your career, okay? Also, I feel there's something here about making a change, a sudden change, or there being a sudden change in your career and you benefiting from it, because I feel like you planned for this. It may even be that you are making the rash decision, or you are deciding to do something really quickly, or you've already done that, you've decided, and you're moving forward. Nothing's going to stop you from being very successful here. If, for example, you work for yourself, you're an entrepreneur, you may have felt a little bit exhausted over the last couple of months, and you may have felt that you're losing direction, or you've lost momentum, or you may have just felt really clouded. When we're exhausted, we find it hard to think of new ideas or brainstorm because we're just so exhausted that the brain is like, I can't anymore. It's not that you don't have any ideas, it's that the brain is so clouded and overworked that you cannot focus. So it's about getting the rest you need, take a step back and sort of really sit in silence for a little while or rest in order to really connect to your inner voice, to your inner heart, the inner workings. You will find answers there. So if you've been struggling with motivation or morale, or you've just felt like creatively blocked right now, and you just can't come up with ideas and things like that, that's all about to change in December. You're going to get a real boost of energy, a real spark of passion, which sees you start something new. So it could be a new project, could be a new idea that you're implementing, or a brilliant sort of spark of originality that comes to you, a flair where people notice your skills and your talents. The Fool card is about making your mark. It's about starting something or beginning something that has a lot of potential. So some of you may actually be launching something new in your career, whether it's you're setting up independently, or whether you are moving into a different arena in a working environment. It feels new and exciting, okay? And I feel like you're having faith that it's the beginning of something that has a lot of potential for success. And I feel like you're right. I feel like you are moving towards having a contract or something. I mean, I feel like there's contracts exchanged here, okay? You got the card of contract, and when you've got the Justice card as well, it can mean legalities. So I definitely see that perhaps you're going to get an offer that comes in that's too good to miss, too good to pass up. We've got the cat there, which normally, it's like you're familiar, it's like loyalty. So I feel like you have support in your independent decision regarding your career. And I feel whatever steps you're making in December actually ricochet out into your future. I feel like your future self will thank you for the decisions that you're making in this moment. But I feel that you're longing for a new start. Some of you could even be like, you know what, I'm done with 2022. Let's get it over with. Let's move into 2023 and let's start afresh. Because I feel like you're starting to look at the new year already by thinking about goals or targets that you want to accomplish. You've got this sort of creative initiative about you where suddenly you're in the flow and you're having a major breakthrough to either embrace a new way of working, or you are, I get this energy of something you're meant to be doing. It's like your calling. It just feels like I'm meant to be doing this, so I'm going to launch myself and do this. I mean, it could be a second stream of income because you've got the Two of Cups there and then you've got the Justice card. So some of you, those two cards are about duality. Some of you may be doing creative pursuits that turn into business opportunities. So I feel like you're in a creative flow. You are actually very artistic. So whether you work in business, as in, you number crunch, or whether you are someone who has a skill or a gift, because they show me how talented you are, whether you are using your talents and your gifts to create something special, perhaps a new business opportunity or idea. This is an urge to create something new, something exciting, to bring a little bit more je ne sais quoi into the way that you work, because you may have felt a little bit distracted, or you may have felt a little bit disinterested in what you've been doing at the moment, and you need a restructure in order to find you know, a little bit more entertainment or something a little bit more interesting in what you do, just to keep ideas fresh and keep everything flowing. So I feel like you're restructuring yourself, and with this restructure comes a lot of success. You may feel like it's a bit of a risky thing to do, but I feel like it pays off, and there is something here that is being offered to you, something that you love, something that perhaps you even may have felt it was difficult to achieve, is going to turn out exactly the way you'd hoped for, okay? This is a card of feeling inspired. It can be an idea for a new endeavor, or an idea that makes your working practices a little bit more interesting. Whatever it is, I feel like you're being bold. You're in the stages of investigating what works and what doesn't. I feel like some of you may be mixing things up and trialing things out just to see, is this right for me? No, that's not right. I'm going to do something else. But I really get with this Ace of Wands is you're going to have the energy to move forward with any of these ideas. Okay, now I just feel that December is going to be a very, very fun month for you, my beautiful Pisces. And I get that for some of you, it's like with creativity and the creative flow, suddenly you feel energized like a teenager. I don't know, it feels something exciting, something that perhaps you've waited your whole life to do, or you're doing something differently, perhaps that you've never done before, or that you or your family have never done before, and this is something to be proud of. I feel it's a very exciting endeavor that leads you to move forward and brings you a lot of success, okay? Nobody said it was going to be easy though, because things don't just land in our lap. We've all got to be honest. And whenever we want something, unfortunately, life shows us that we've got to work really hard for it. And I feel like you've already been working really hard and have a lot of knowledge. I mean, you've got the High Priestess there, which indicates that you are naturally very gifted and you have a lot of innate knowledge within yourself. You've come to this lifetime with a lot of wisdom. So you've already got a lot of skills that can be implemented within your career sector, and you've honed them. So you're not really starting from scratch on something. I feel like you're starting from experience because you have a lot of wisdom already, okay? But you're using your intuition and getting nudges from spirit as to which direction to head in regarding your career, okay? You may be keeping this change or this restructure to yourself at this time, but I feel like you're dreaming big and you're dreaming bold and you're allowing yourself to move forward with great panache and style. We've got the ship here. It's in the resistance position, so it's like I got it in the reverse. So you may have felt for a while you've been questioning your direction, and you know, you may have had some setbacks on things that you were planning, but I feel, you know, now is the time to move forward on any ideas. Also, I feel that you are really exhausted. So some of you may be like, you know what, I need a break. And sometimes, you know, we have to take that step back. We have to withdraw in order to recharge our batteries before we can get back in the mix and be right on target. Sometimes we have to step away from a problem or a conundrum, or, you know, step away from our career for a while in order to really regroup, get clarity, and be inspired once again. Because if we're always in the state of doing, it becomes like a repetitive cycle, and it doesn't leave much space for us to really experiment with other ideas or other avenues or alternative ways of getting what we want. There's many different strategies. There's many ways of achieving your goal, and it's about deciding the right route for you, okay? Now, some of you may literally be planning a vacation because you are feeling exhausted, but when you get the ship, this is about being on the journey. So by the end of December, you're turning this into this, which means you're right on track. You know, some of you may be relocating, or maybe your offices are relocating, or there's some sort of restructure. It could even be that, you know, there's a refurbishment at your workplace, and when you go back, you find that your office is moved, or, you know, there may be something in the works for a refurbishment or restructure. And if you work for yourself, I feel like there could be some sort of expansion where you bring your business worldwide, or you're thinking about relocating to another state or another country, maybe even overseas, emigrating in order to relocate your business. So I definitely see things that you're looking at right now. Some of you may be even looking at the legalities of setting up like an independent company overseas in order to be more efficient with your finances. And it may be something that right now feels like a pipe dream that you're investigating, but actually in the long run, I feel like legally you go through the right connections and you find a way to set these things up for yourself. So I actually see you really resolving and finding a solution to a situation that you feel is monumental. It may feel overwhelming, but actually you're going through the right channels is what they're showing me in order to either relocate or find your happiness. I mean, this ship is headed towards the sun. So you are headed in the direction of success. But you may have felt it's exhausting, or you may have felt that you never seem to be quite getting there. And it seems to be quite a long journey. But I definitely get this energy of you moving forward. Setting sail for pastures new is what I get here. So whether that is you learning new skills in order to put your resume out there and find a new opportunity, I feel like you're keeping that to yourself, or whether you're going to hear news from a company overseas, perhaps, whether they headhunt you. I definitely get this energy of you there's movement. Okay, there's movement. Now, the Justice card is in the resistance position as well. And when it's in the resistance position like that, it feels like your progress has been stifled, or there's been some setbacks and you feel like it's unfair. You may have even had some experiences that you did not plan for. This could be financially as well. So for example, it could be that for example, there may have been bills that were unexpected and you had to pay those out of money that you were saving for something like a big purchase. And it feels it's so unfair. You know, just when you thought you got a grip on your finances and you're saving for something that you've been saving for a while, suddenly the boiler breaks down, or suddenly you need a new washing machine, or suddenly, you get a parking fine. Whatever it is, I feel like your energy or your luck is changing for the better. Okay, I want you to be aware things are getting better, things are getting easier. Also, I would say, and this came up in a reading a couple of weeks ago, I feel like it's come up in 2 readings now, it's coming up a 3rd time. Please check your mail, okay, because they're indicating that there's a document or some sort of official correspondence in the mail that cannot be missed, because there's something beneficial in that mail to you, okay? Now that came up in a reading a couple of weeks ago for a certain sign. I can't remember which sign it was. I'm really sorry that I can't remember the sign it was for. It might have been for Libra because I'm holding a Libra card. But one of the collective, they said, I'm so glad that you said check my mail, because I actually never check my mail because all my bills and everything are online. Everything is documented electronically. So I was not expecting anything in the mail. But you said check the mail because there's something important and you don't want to miss it. So they checked their mail and they found that there was a letter in there that told them they were entitled to money back, some sort of rebate. And they had to follow directions in the letter to get the rebate. And it was on a time scale. So they actually would have missed it because they would never have opened the letter. So they actually got money back. They physically got their money back because they opened the letter. So just please check your mail. They're indicating here there's something that you will love, but if you don't open your mail, you may miss it. Okay, so watch out for that. It may be that someone sends you like old-fashioned, someone sends you a check, right? And it's just sitting there in the mail, but you were not expecting it. So it just sits there in the mail. And checks don't really tend to go out of date. Or maybe they do, I don't know, for quite a while, I feel, anyway. So just make sure. Now, the Justice card in this position indicates you are due some good karma, but you may feel that you've had a run of bad luck, or that things have just been exhausting and frustrating, and you've had a lot of problems, and you've been putting out a lot of fires recently, and it just feels like overwhelming. Things are going to change. The energy is changing for you. A lot of you are going to have a lot of paperwork to deal with as well. And you may feel that's a little bit boring, or you don't want to have to deal with that, but they're indicating if you don't deal with this paperwork, then there could be repercussions. Okay, so I would watch out for that also. Now, sometimes, and this is not for everyone, they're showing me a restructure within a working environment that offers new contracts. So if you work for a company, there may be some sort of changes in policy and you will have to re-sign a contract, things like that, I would check the contract, make sure that you still get all the benefits that you were entitled to before. Because sometimes when companies offer new policies or new contracts, they suddenly leave out all the benefits that you were entitled to because you've worked there for such a long time. But because you've got a new contract, there's new energy, it's a new agreement between you and the company, they can leave out benefits and things like that. And it may not go in your favor. So I would watch out for that, okay? Also, I feel like you're being really honest with yourself here. You're really looking at things that you need to cut out, anything that's caused a distraction, anybody that has not supported you on your journey, or anything that's really tried to derail you. I really feel like you're being fair and cutting those things out. But the Justice card, you know, at grassroots, it's all about cause and effect. It indicates that you have to make a decision and you have to be fair and balanced in your decision. So I feel with this Justice card, the decisions you make, I feel like you gain rewards. It is a win-win situation for you. And if some of you have had an ongoing disagreement or discrepancy with a company, I feel like a court case kind of comes to an end. And it feels like there's one person, how can I put that? There's one person that you may be dealing with. It could be the CEO of that company. They're very risky to deal with, okay? So you lead with integrity. The truth will out, but I feel like you get a fair settlement, okay? That's what I get, and you'll be happy with it. But it's gone on too long, is what I'm feeling. But it does come to an end very, very soon. Also with the Justice card, I feel that if you're trying to set up something new, whether it's your own company or whether you are trying to set up a side hustle, there may be a lot of paperwork to deal with, a lot of administrative tasks that you're going to have to do, and you may feel a little bit overwhelmed. So make sure you are getting good sleep, eating really well, and getting exercise to be in the best optimum state for you to be in the flow. Because the Two of Cups, you know, this can mean that if you're someone who's very creative, for example, and you just love doing your creative work, but also along with selling your work or whatever it is that you do, you know, comes contracts, paperwork, receipts, billing, invoices, all of that. And it's like creatives, they don't really like that sort of thing. It's like, oh, it's soul draining. It's kind of like, oh, I hate those tasks. And you may be uninterested in those sort of tasks, but you got to be honest with yourself. And I feel with December, I feel like you're actually settling down, taking a night or two to yourself to really work out paperwork. So it may even be that you're like trying to sit down with your receipts and sort out your tax. Or I just get this energy of December being a month where you start to unwind, unpick, and start to really take stock of what you've achieved so far for the year and what targets you intend to set for yourself and accomplish as we move into 2023. Now, the Two of Cups in this position, it's in the reverse. So this can indicate that you're leaving a place. It's a card of separating from something that maybe you once loved, but you feel like your heart's not in it. Or maybe you feel like it's not rewarding for you anymore. Okay. I would also say that if you were offered something and it got taken away, or you were promised something in your career and it got taken away, it's going to be replaced with something so much greater, something with a lot more potential, okay? Just so you're aware. I feel like protection, redirection is at hand here if you've been rejected by something or somebody in career, okay? The Two of Cups, by the end of the month, the Two of Cups is in the upright, which means you're attracting your heart's desire. You have an understanding of what you want to achieve. And I feel like you come to a decision and you make an agreement, either with yourself or with a company that you work with. I feel like you come to a fair agreement to do something that you love, that you're passionate about. And I feel like some of you could be stepping into a leadership role or have some sort of promotion. I feel like a deal is done or the deal is sealed, shall we say, in the month of December. And as you move into January, I feel like you're hitting the ground running and it's a really positive experience. Now, this doesn't mean that you are leaving everything behind. It can also mean that you are making adjustments within your working practice. For example, if you've been working so hard and you haven't had time for yourself, I feel like you're actually setting healthier boundaries when it comes to your working practices and making time to have fun with friends, connect to family, making adjustments so that all areas and aspects of your life are balanced, okay? Now, the outcome energy, we've got photograph. So some of you may actually reconnect to something that is you are passionate about, or something creative that you used to do. Now, this could be something that you enjoyed doing when you were younger, maybe in college or when you were a teenager, or even in your early years when you were working. This is something that really sparked your creativity, and I feel like maybe you thought or chalked it up to being a hobby. I feel like you revisit this and it could even turn into a second stream of income because you are very, very talented. This card is a card of nostalgia, thinking back to something that you used to enjoy. You may return to that, and if you don't return to the exact thing itself or the exact business that you used to do, I feel like you gravitate towards that sector and you pick up a job or an opportunity within that sector and you really enjoy your working practice. It says here, the past memories, the past returning, past influences, familiarity, nostalgia. But I feel it's like something derailed you, or perhaps you took up another opportunity elsewhere in the meantime, and I feel like you're getting back to your true north, because this feels like an opportunity that makes your heart really sing. It's something that perhaps in the past you could only dream of achieving or accomplishing. I feel like you're attracting a possibility that leads to a lot of potential and reward, a lot of success. We've got a tunnel here, so this indicates you've been squirreling away, really dedicated and committed to your prosperity, and it may have been a difficult route, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel, okay? So I definitely feel whatever you've been struggling with in your career, whether it's people, making things difficult for you, whether it's you've been taking on too much work, you're trying to tie up loose ends as the year comes to a close and hit certain deadlines before everybody takes a break. I feel like, you've been going through a real testing time and you're coming out the other side rewarded and excited about where the next chapter of your career leads, okay? It says here, hiding, passage, journey, lost, refuge, exploring the subconscious, dark times. So I feel like even though you've been going through difficult challenges in your career, I feel like it's given you an opportunity to realize what you do want to do in your career, what really sparks your attention, makes you feel interested, makes you feel passionate and enthusiastic, and what really doesn't. And I feel like you're sorting things out. I feel like you're really taking stock of what's working for you, what's enjoyable, and really what's not, because life is too short to be spending time doing something that you do not love. And I get this energy that, of course, we've all got to take jobs that we didn't particularly hope to do when we were younger. I do several jobs, and I've done several jobs throughout my lifetime where, I never really wanted to do those things, but I had to pay the bills. I've done everything from cleaning, to working in a bar, to working in an office, being creative, to, working in a chocolate shop. That was one of my favorites, but you can't, that unfortunately came to an end. But, working in so many things, but you learn a set of skills in each area, okay? And nothing is ever for naught. So it doesn't matter whether you're doing a job that you do not like right now, but you're working towards something else, an opportunity will find you, okay, and give you a chance to build your career in the way that you hoped for. But even though you may be in a position or a job that you're working in right now and it's not your dream opportunity, you're actually learning skills that will help you move forward in the career that you want. Because remember, the universe does not head us in a certain direction for no reason. Every person you meet, every experience you have is building you to finding something better, something more meaningful in your life. These encounters are meaningful because they help you learn a lesson and they help you channel all of that into your working practice when you feel like you're on your soul path. So for example, you may be someone who worked in a really toxic environment for a long time, and you just feel like everybody's got low morale, nobody wants to help each other, everybody's grouchy and always complaining about the boss or the CEO, and you decide, you leave that place, but you decide to write a book on it or a screenplay, or, you turn that pain to gain. That's what I see you doing. Creatively finding a way to use your experiences to help others or in some way inform your work. So for example, as well, because they're giving me an example right now, I'm remembering a time that, well, they're showing me a time where I used to work in a customer service role, and it was public facing customer service role. I'm sure you can all imagine that that was not the funnest job in the world, because everybody was screaming at me for something that I was just a representative of the company. I didn't make the products, I didn't sell the products. I was just there to do what do you call it, damage limitation, to really calm people down and find a way to resolve their issues. And I did not like that role at all. I mean, who would? It was, no one ever appreciated what I did, etc., etc. This is not about me, but I'm trying to give you an example of when, I found a way to become a people person, to learn to work with a person and try and calm them down, to try and help them. How can I resolve your issue as diplomatically, as quickly and efficiently as possible without, without sort of compromising also the company's rules and regulations and policies. And I found a way to use connection with people and found a way to diplomacy, how to talk to people, talk people down, and also empathize with their struggles. That, yeah, they bought this product that was for their daughter's birthday and it didn't work, and they were screaming in my face because it ruined their daughter's birthday. I understood. I could sympathize, but at the same time, it's about finding a way to use those experiences later on in life. Because when I came under some really pressurized situations later on in my life, I was well equipped to deal with them in this calm sort of manner, because I had an experience or many experiences that taught me to be like that. Now, oh gosh, they're showing me this. I don't really want to share that experience with you, but they're showing it to me right now. But it's a very traumatic time in my life. I feel like you're all my friends, so I absolutely will share it with you, but automatically I feel like being very emotional about it. So apologies, but so I also worked in an environment where I was held up with in a robbery, let's put it that way. And they, because of YouTube and all the policies I'm not going to mention, but they were holding me up with something, let's put it that way, a weapon. So, and that experience in customer service, it's so weird, but that experience in customer service many years before taught me to remain very calm and to connect to that person who was robbing the store later on in a different job, okay? And whilst I was faced with a very terrifying experience, I also remained very calm, but it still makes me feel a bit shaky right now, because I think afterwards, as soon as the whole experience was over, I was like a wreck. But in the moment, I kept calm composure. So we never know when the experiences that we have, both good, bad, and ugly, are teaching us for something greater, something better. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to have a horrible experience like I did, no way. What I'm trying to show you is that those moments where we feel like we're struggling, we're actually in training. We're in training for everything that is better to come. And, after that experience, of course, then my career in another sector really took off. So it was almost like a test from the universe of my skills. And that's the way I see it. But I mean, you can see it differently, of course, but I realize that every moment, every experience in my life to date is teaching me to be the person I am now. Okay, and whilst it may feel uncomfortable in the moment, it's taught me now that I had to have had all these experiences so that I could relate to people who, are struggling or have had trauma and things like that, because I've had major things like this happen in my life also. So you may be looking at your life and experiences you're having in your career sector and how those experiences inform the direction you want to head in. Okay, that was a very long-winded way, but obviously my guides want me to give you that. Oh, I'm glad I actually talked about that without crying. But anyway, let's move on. We've got dice. Okay. Now, dice is like taking a gamble or having blind faith, as it were, believing in yourself and being bold with opportunity. You may feel like something is risky, some sort of change or new start. You may even feel like setting up your own business. You know, nobody knows how it's going to go. So you may feel like it's taking a risk. But if you believe in yourself and you put the work in and you lead with integrity, let your passion be your power, I feel like you're going to lead yourself straight to success, reward, and feeling really proud of yourself with your accomplishments. Okay. The dice card is ruled by Jupiter, which is good luck. And as it just went direct, I feel like there's good fortune and expansion in your career. So if you've been feeling that things have not been going in your favor, you're going to get an extra bit of luck, a bit of fortune. You're going to be in a cycle of change where benevolent energy influences your career, and there is a lucky break or things that work out perfectly for you. I say lucky break because we also have a tower moment, the dice, and an ace of cups. But the three of swords can indicate that it's been really difficult to get to this part, or it's been really difficult to get to this point of success. And suddenly when you get to success and you know how hard you've worked to get there, suddenly you start to realize how difficult the journey has been, and you become quite emotional about how finally you've got to the place you wanted to get all along. There's been a breakthrough for you. Now, the High Priestess is all about belief systems. It's about believing in yourself, trusting in the unknown, and having faith that everything's going to work out for you. The High Priestess is also mute. She doesn't really talk about the things that she's manifesting. So I feel this card is a card of like cautiously keeping your ideas or your transformation or your restructure to yourself. So if you're putting your resume out there or putting the feelers out there to see what other opportunities lay out there, I feel like you're keeping it to yourself. Especially, you don't want your boss or anything like that to find out. Unless, of course, you've talked to your boss and tried to find a solution to elevate in your career. And if they've given you the feeling that there's no room for growth, or you've hit a plateau in your career in some way, then I feel like you're being honest with them and saying, well, then that must mean that I've got to look elsewhere. And whilst you may not really want to leave a place that you're in, you may feel that you have to in order to bring more money in, and be really realistic with yourself. Okay. Now, the Emperor, of course, is all about strategy, success, but it's also about power, control. You have the power to change your destiny. And I definitely get this energy of you. If you're taking a risk, I feel like it's a calculated risk, because the Emperor would never just do something, really suddenly without thinking about it. This is someone who has deep planning strategies. So I feel like you are really thinking about something before you act on it. I feel like you are stepping into a leadership position, or you're stepping into becoming your own boss, because I get this independence energy about you. Even if it's like a side hustle, I still feel that you're setting something up, or you're thinking about setting something up that you can turn your skills, whatever they may be, whether it's you being a real people person, my beautiful Pisces, because you have such empathy, such sensitivity, you've got wonderful instincts and intuition, you're so creative, and so you care about people. You're really good at volunteering your time and helping people. Whatever it is you do, I feel like you're making a plan to use your skills and your talents to rise through the ranks, and you're totally bossing up. Okay. So whether you are setting up your own business, because this is the card of being an entrepreneur, or being a boss, maybe managerial role, I feel like you could be starting a new position as you move into the new year, or have new status, but you're using your innate knowledge to get there in the first place. If you've been struggling in your career to rise through the ranks, I feel like there's a surprise opportunity on the horizon for you. Now, this could be in terms of either a new opportunity pops into your inbox just out of the blue, and you're offered something, or whether you interviewed for something. I feel like it's good news. I feel if you've interviewed for a couple of things, I feel like one of them does not go in your favor. Okay, I gotta be real with you. I'm not gonna blow smoke up your what. I feel like one of them does not go in your favor, but that's really good, because the other thing is better anyway, and that's the thing that you get. Okay, I feel like you're offered something that is much more rewarding, that will make you happy, something that your heart will feel really proud to accomplish. So watch out for that. We've got the Tower. And the Tower basically indicates that you've been feeling stuck. Maybe you felt like you're going round and round in circles. You may even feel like where you work, it just shackles you. You may feel tied to it, but you're liberating yourself. The Tower is a sudden realization. So it could be you suddenly realize actually that you are someone who is very gifted in some area, and you feel like you should be following that path and you've not been following it. So suddenly you're restructuring the way that you work in order to make bold moves and set up your true prosperity path, your true north, your true soul path, your true calling. The Tower is like sudden it's like a restructure, or suddenly you see there's like a revelation here. And it may come to you in a moment of silence or meditation. You may suddenly gain a lot of clarity to the direction that you're headed in and make some decisions or adjustments in your career to take yourself to the next level. I mean, the Tower, I'm going to pull a card on it. We've got the Tower and we've got the Three of Swords. So I feel like you are really looking at difficulty or challenges in a different way, and you're realizing it gives you an opportunity to liberate yourself. So for example, if you've come to this reading and you are without a job, and perhaps you lost your job or you left your job and you're waiting for a new opportunity to come in, and you're feeling it's like you're struggling, they're indicating here that there is an opportunity coming in here for you with this Ace of Cups. Okay, there's definitely something coming in for you, but I feel like you're looking at this challenging time in a different way because it's really positive. You're putting a positive spin on it. It's almost like you're being given an opportunity to take your career in any direction. You can do anything you want. And whilst, yes, we are living in uncertain times, and these the world events, everything seems to be like up in the air, and you may feel like job security is something that is fluctuating right now. I feel like you put yourself in a really good position to get something that you love doing, that brings in finances, but at the same time gives you an opportunity to accomplish something that you thought perhaps you never would. That's what I'm really picking up on. I'm going to pull a card on this Tower card and the Three of Swords. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Pisces? Queen of Wands, confidence. Okay, shining your light. You're attracting a lot of opportunity at this time, but I feel like you may be surprised that one does not go in your favor. I've already mentioned that. I feel like there is one thing that perhaps doesn't work out, but I do feel like something better does work out, and that's the opportunity for you. Okay, Queen of Wands also is a card of being encouraged to express yourself in your own unique way. Okay, it's important because if you do something that everybody else does, then you're just going to be part of the crowd. You're not going to stand out, and you're born to stand out from the crowd. Okay, also the Queen of Wands is to kind of, because we're talking about career and money and things like that, I would say don't overspend is what I would say, because the Queen of Wands is someone who, when it comes to finances, it tends to, like, money comes in and then goes out again. You're spending it on things that make you feel good, look good, all of those things. And you may have a surprise bill that comes in, or, that takes something that you find difficult to reconcile. Okay. That's only if you're overspending. If you're cutting back on things, then I don't think that message is for you. Okay, that's what I'm seeing there. But like when you've got that's why I'm not really a fan of cards. Whilst they're really convenient, you just tap there, tap here, and you're not really aware of what you're spending. So I try to not use them as much as possible. But I'm really old school, can't teach an old dog new tricks. But anyway, we got the Magician card here. So this is about your focus, confidence. You are very talented, okay? So don't let any rejection knock you back. Don't let anything derail you from your heart's desire, because you are capable of achieving great success. If something didn't go your way or did not go in your favor, don't let it touch you, because you're confident, you're talented, you are someone who has got a lot of gifts, a lot of skills. I mean, this card indicates you have a lot of potential, and you can use your initiative and your focus on something to make things happen. Okay, the Magician card makes things happen. You are a powerful creator. And as long as you have that confidence within yourself, you can do anything. Don't let anything or anybody tell you differently, okay? Now, with the Magician card also, I feel like if something does not go your way or you've been experiencing difficulty trying to level up in your career, I feel like you got this. It's going to come to you, okay? You're using your intelligence, you're making things happen, and it will all happen in divine timing. I also feel don't do anything too risky, because let me just pull a card on that. I'm just getting this energy of don't do anything too risky, like suddenly join a quick rich scheme or something like that, because it may make you feel a lot of anxiety. Okay, so I'm picking the reverse and the uprights in this deck. Only the uprights in this deck, but both in this one. Okay, we got the Eight of Swords and the Page of Wands. So the Page of Swords is like feeling a bit bored or struggling with not being active at work, or you feel like you're not achieving, or you feel like it's not exciting. You may feel like there's nothing new going on in your workplace. And we've got the Eight of Swords in the reverse, which is liberation or leaving. So I feel, if you're feeling a little bit bored at your workplace, don't do anything rash, like just suddenly leave. Possibly worth having a conversation with your boss to see if there's any way to level up or expand on opportunities, or even learn new things, take on new projects that can inspire you. And if you feel rather that you've been met with silence, or there's no way to include this on your career path, I feel like then it's time to look or outsource, or look for a new direction there. I'm just going to pull a card on that Three of Swords on its own. Five of Swords in the reverse. Peace of mind. So there is, after a difficult time, I feel like you're going to find peace. I feel like, you're leaving your troubles behind. You're liberating yourself from a difficult time. That's what this literally means. You're not avoiding it. You're facing it head on. Okay? The Tower is like breaking down, and this is difficult times, in order to embrace a new opportunity. Ace of Cups indicates something that you love is headed your way. Now, this is either a proposal, a new job, or a new way of working that you will really enjoy. So, for example, you could find when you go at some point in December, if there's someone who causes a lot of office politics or is unkind in the workspace, you may hear that suddenly they've left. And the working environment is much more peaceful, much more enjoyable without their presence. So that could also be occurring there. Ace of Cups indicates an offer coming on in, and an opportunity to expand and embrace all opportunities. I feel like there's something here that you're going to grab with both hands that allows your brilliant mind, your brilliant dreams to come to life. And I feel even in the darkest of places, even in the most uncertain times, you're actually going to thrive, become very, very successful, and do something that you love that brings peace. Okay, peace of mind. Now, there may be, for example, I'm going to pull one or two more cards. There may be some shortages at work. Okay, shortages of people, and you may feel that you have to pick up some extra work as well, like you're going to have to do their portion of the work. But I feel you're learning some new skill in doing so, and it may actually help you later on when you decide to expand, set up on your own, or relocate into a different position. So watch out for that. Also, Six of Cups indicates nostalgia or returning to something that you once loved doing. But it's at grassroots, the Six of Cups is like a gift from the universe, an opportunity. And the King of Pentacles there is like an opportunity to earn more money, an opportunity to increase your wealth, or to step into a leadership role that has a lot more responsibility. It may be more work. It's not going to be easy. I'm not going to lie to you, my beautiful Pisces, but it's rewarding. And it actually is emotionally rewarding and fulfilling as much as it is financially rewarding. Okay, so this is about finding opportunity in something that you used to do or something that you used to enjoy doing. Some of you may return to a working practice or hear about an opportunity from someone that you used to work with. But this is a message or an offer coming on in to do something that you've been dreaming about for such a long time. And I feel like it's very financially lucrative, whatever this is, okay? If you're stepping into a leadership position, I feel like you got this. You are a natural born leader. I feel like you're someone who people will respect, but you also show compassion for your the people you work with. I also feel like you're someone who makes really good business decisions. And I feel you're generous as well. But get ready for abundance because you're manifesting it. And I feel your career is going from strength to strength, but you may have been going through some difficulties. As you move into the new year, I feel like you're going to take a chance on yourself. You're going to invest in yourself or in an opportunity that you've always wanted to do, and it pays off really well. We've got bee community. Now, bees, they tend to, be attracted. So I feel like you're going to attract opportunities here. Bees to honey, that sort of energy. It says you are a powerful creator. We already mentioned that in your reading. Your work blesses everything you touch. Be open to receiving the sweetness. You are queen of abundance. Now, male or female, not a gender specific reading. It's about the energy. So I feel like there is sweet reward for the efforts that you've been putting in. And even though the struggle, you may have been wondering if it's worth it. When this abundance shows up, you will recognize it has been worth it, okay? Sunflowers, incidentally, they always follow the sun throughout the day, okay? So, and you've got the ship there that is headed in the right direction towards the sun. So the sun is the most positive card in any deck. So it indicates that you're headed towards success, abundance, better times, and there is a brighter future ahead of you. If you work within a company, you're going to feel like your boss has your back. I feel like you've got money flowing to you as well. If you work for yourself, I feel like you attract more business or more lucrative contracts, and I feel like you attract more money as well. I get this energy of you being in the flow and really starting to see things develop in a really positive way that makes you feel really proud of everything you've accomplished so far, okay? Because it has been a long journey to now, and you may have been feeling like it's a long journey that doesn't seem to have an ending, but there is reward, okay? And that is one of the endings before you start a new beginning in a new sector, okay? Because I feel like you accomplish a project or you accomplish some level of success in your career, and then you're challenging yourself to create more, okay? Now, the trinket we got here is the Hamza hand. So that is being protected, okay? So whatever changes you're making or risk you feel like you're taking, I feel like it's a calculated risk, but you've got the Fool card, which is again a leap of faith or taking a gamble on a new path. The Hamza hand indicates you're protected, and if you've experienced any level of rejection, I feel like you're protected and redirected into something that is more right for you, more beneficial in the long term, okay? So I'll leave that there. I hope something resonates in this reading for you. If it does, please like or subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with reading, which is very important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Pisces. Love and light.